Hello guys and gals, and welcome. I wanted to play a little bit of Diablo 2 tonight. I just can't seem to scratch the Diablo 2 Resurrected itch ever since they announced the game. I play more and more. Builds have been coming to my mind that I wanted to play around with, and I think one of the things we're going to do right off the bat here is we're going to go ahead and do some nightmare difficulty. I have literally a Boadin right now. I can walk around and just shoot things and they die from cold damage. I was actually really considering... I turn this down. It's just so very loud. But Diablo is a very loud game. And you don't realize that until you actually listen to yourself on stream. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's a little loud. And, you know, can't even hear myself talk. Yes, Wahid, do your job. Wahid killed the Cow King, by the way. He's a frickin' douche. Just a douche. I don't very much like him at this particular moment in time. There we go. Hop it in the chat. So I know a lot of people may not have ever played Diablo 2, but trust me when I say Diablo 2 is an amazing game, and when Diablo 2 Resurrected comes out, it's definitely worth your time. In fact, you know what? Before Diablo 2 Resurrected ever comes out, it's worth your time. Trust me when I say it's just one of those amazing games that is worth your effort. Second here. Sorry, too many things up on the screen. Alright, away we go. We're probably not going to play for that long tonight, but a couple hours at least. Gotta practice and prepare for the Diablo 2 Resurrected actually comes out. Granted, I could just download a trainer and I could edit my characters and give them lots of points and send them to hell and test out different modes and whatnot, but that's not what I want to do. I want to actually play some Diablo. I want to get used to the game again. Because it's been a while since I played. And not as long as some people. Some people I don't think have played in 20 years. No, I've played on and off quite a long time. I played with my nephew Mark. I played with my brother Teddy. I played with my... with online, like a BattleNet. I did PvP a lot. It was fun just seeing what kind of things would work and what kind of things wouldn't. Like, I remember one of the last things I did before I stopped playing was I actually made a elemental druid, hurricane druid, and I was able to essentially make a build that was almost completely immune to elemental damage. See, the druid has this interesting skill called cyclone armor, which absorbs essentially all incoming elemental damage up to a certain amount, depending on what the level of the skill is. Well, if you beef up the skill, like if you get Hurricane to max, cyclone armor ends up being pretty ridiculous as a result, and you can essentially just spam it. I mean, it's like a 10 mana skill. You can cast it over and over again. You just kind of put it on your right click, and that way, it never runs out. And so, characters like sorceresses that are fire, lightning, or ice have absolutely no effect on you. And I actually remember testing it quite extensively. I would go out into PvP maps, and I would literally just stand there next to a sorceress casting my elemental skill over and over again, and she could do nothing. Combined with resistances, of course, because your resistances are going to lower the amount of damage you're taking to begin with. And of course, sorceresses have a way to lower your resistances for certain elements. which is his name is Bishy Bosh. Hello, Bishy Bosh. Bishy Bosh. Bishy Bosh dropped me a double axe. Why, hello, Bishy Bosh. And a grand scepter. Why do I have so many mana potions? Plus one to charge. I mean, I could sell it, I guess. I could sell it. I need a bow that actually has, like, multi-shot or something on it. I could have sworn there was at least one bow. Maybe it was multi-shot charges. I don't know. There's also the exploding damage bows, which are kind of cool. Those are interesting. So, like, there's the Chukonu, which is a crossbow. It has a pierce effect on it. It also has exploding arrow. And if you have holy fire, it'll actually add to the exploding arrow. I don't have exploding fire. A regular scepter. Oh, 5% lifesteal, but nothing else on it. Okay. So as you can see, even at the lower level I am right now, I'm doing pretty significant amounts of damage in Nightmare. If I can hit the target, that is. I'm very aware that one of the problems with I guess, Bowadin is going to be attack rating. How are you going to obtain attack rating? And I'm really not sure how to answer that question right this second. It's going to be an interesting topic for sure. Speaking of interesting topics, I have come across quite a few interesting topics on the forums. Things that people are interested in or not interested in. And there seems to be roughly 3 camps currently. There is the camp that is, we really don't want any changes to the game. So keep the changes that you make to the bare minimum and only to the things that require fixing. You know, like quality of life fixes.
I am overburdened.
There are even some people who I think would rather the game come out with absolutely no changes whatsoever. Now, I'm definitely not one of those. I do believe that Diablo does need some changes. Like, for instance, I had to download an app to be able to share equipment between my 2 characters on single player, which is just silly. So the shared stats is a very wanted feature. I think most people would agree that the shared stash just simply accomplishes something that we all would do anyway through workarounds. Whether it's going online and dropping our items in a match and then hoping no one sees it, or getting one of your friends to come in and hold your gear for you for a second while you go grab your ult. Whatever the reason is, you know, these kinds of changes are tiny. They're not really even worth discussing. Auto gold, I don't feel like is a big issue either, and I think most people are okay with it. Mainly because, and this is just my current argument on this, is I feel like auto gold is something that is only going to pick up the stuff that we were probably not going to pick up. So hear me out. If there's 3 stacks of gold sitting on the ground, let me see if I can demonstrate. So let's pretend there's a 1,000 stack, right? Alright. And there's also a 100 stack. And then there's a 14 stack, right? Which one are you going to pick up first? You're going to pick up the 1,000, right? You're probably definitely going to pick up the 1,000. All right, and then the 100 is still high enough where you might pick that one up too. Okay, so the auto gold is only going to be left really picking up the little tiny numbers. The stuff that we might just simply ignore, just simply because it's not a lot of gold. You know, like the 60s and like the 14s and the 12s and the 1s. And yes, over a long period of time, it could add up to a lot of gold. But in the short term, it's going to equal like nothing. It's not even going to be anything worthwhile. And that's kind of what my argument for the auto gold is that at the end of the day, gold doesn't really have an extreme value in Diablo. We use it to buy crap from the shops, which 9 times out of 10 the crap from the shops is awful. Like the main things that you even buy from the shops that's actually worth anything is socketed items, and you can find those on the ground just as easily. Granted, in the beginning when we are all poor little naked characters and we don't have any gear, that might be something that we're doing, is buying gear from, you know, the shops. But the other thing that we use our money for is gambling. Right? So we all like to gamble. That's one of the ways that we spend our money. But the extra pocket change that auto gold would give us barely even adds up to one gamble, like of a ring. If that. Probably over hundreds of games. Because you're talking about that only the little tiny numbers are only things that we wouldn't pick up anyway. The stuff that we would feel is not a lot of gold. So 3 camps. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off on a tangent here. So the 3 camps. The ones that don't want anything to change, but are okay with small quality of life fixes. Then there's the people who want, like, drastic, ridiculous changes. Like, these people aren't happy with the way Diablo was, like, ever. What they want is they want wild and sweeping changes just across the board. Like, they want a new class. They want a new act. They want, they want literally just everything. They want new skills. And these people are crazy. Like, I feel like if that's what you want, then you don't really want to play Diablo. Does that make sense at all? Because, you know, it's... And I know there's some people out there who probably would like that. And maybe as a third game, maybe somewhere down the line, they could make a Diablo II expansion or something. And people could have fun with that. But as of right now, they're trying to remake the original game, you know, as it was. And... they can hardly do that when you're changing everything, when you're adding things. They don't even really know how things were balanced. They're building the game in such a way where it's basically just like there's a skeleton underneath of a puppet, and the puppet is what they made, and the skeleton is literally the original game, still just there exactly as it was 20 years ago. And so then there's the third group. So the third group isn't like the first group that wants to keep the game how it was with minor changes, but they're not like the second group that wants to change the game and everything that it is to completely different standards. No, the third group is the group that wants to change the game in minor ways that would still alter the way that Diablo 2 is played. They want to do things like create a separate inventory for charms so that you no longer have charms clogging up your inventory. They want to do things like completely take away global loot as an option so that you're no longer able to see what anyone else drops in a multiplayer game. And basically you're just only getting equipment that drops for you and no one else. And there's 100 other changes that these people want that I feel like would fundamentally change Diablo as a game into something that it never was. And I'm not going to say that I'm like a super purist. I don't want the game exactly as it is now. there are definitely a lot of issues with it. You know, namely, it's an 800 by 600 resolution. The BattleNet that is currently there sucks horribly. It's full of botters and cheaters, and it's no fun to play on. Like, there's literally nothing on the current BattleNet system, which I would say is legit at this point. But at the same time, you know, in the new system, hopefully anyway, we would get to the point where we would have the new BattleNet system, and there would be at least some anti-cheat, whereas right now there is none. The new Diablo II Resurrected costs $40, whereas Diablo II right now is essentially free. If you have an old CD key from back in the day, and there were thousands and millions of them, you can literally just go on the Diablo II, Blizzard account page, and you can literally put the CD key in for the old game and download a copy of the new one that doesn't even require the CD anymore. So even if you have lost the CD to Diablo 2, you could still go pick up the original CD key, put that into Diablo, and download the game and play it right now today for free. That's assuming, of course, you can get your hands on a CD key, but why wouldn't you be able to? There's probably websites out there that sell Diablo CD keys for like $1. No, we gotta do this all over again, huh? See, I was considering respecking just so I could beef up Holy Freeze a little bit better, but right now we're at 20 or 16 Holy Freeze. And you know, we're currently at 317 to 329 damage. We still have quite a ways to go to max out our cold resist, which is going to keep beefing up Holy Freeze more and more and more. So we will eventually get to the point where we should be in the at least 1,000 or more cold damage added to every single shot, every single attack. I had totally forgotten about that, about this armor till it dropped. So this is a special unique armor called Dark Glow Ringmail. And it has 10 to all resist, which isn't the greatest in the world, but one of the things that it does have is +5 to all your maximums. And the +5 to all your maximums is a very, very interesting thing. Because basically, you're always going to hit a point where you can't get any higher. Like even when you're in hell difficulty, you're going to be at 75, and 75% resistances is not going to be enough in some situations, especially when you're fighting like, you know, the hell version of Diablo. So having something like this on would actually increase those maximum resistances. But the problem is it doesn't really provide the resistances itself. So you would have to find a way to get those resistances, you know, and that way your character would actually have them. Now, when I switch to my sword and shield, I do have moderately decent resistances for Nightmare, but not the greatest. I do, however, think that this Dark Glow Chainmail is actually much better than what I had on. It has a little bit less lightning and poison resist. No, a little bit less cold resist as well. But it does have attack rating. It has enhanced defense versus missile. It's got the plus to the maximums. I don't know. I think I'm going to use it for now. Had a little debate in my mind there whether I really wanted to use it or not, considering I don't really have what I would consider the best resistances right now, so none of my resistances are capped. But I was also thinking that, you know, at any time I could swap to Salvation and you could see those capped resistances. So as you can see right now, I have 80 lightning, so that's with the 5% from the armor, and 80 fire. But I also have 84 cold, which comes from my beefing up of the cold resistance aura. So I have I have 8 points in it with the +1 from all paladin skills, and 8 divided by 2 is obviously 4, so I have 4 extra to my maximum because of resist cold. I should probably plink 1 more into each of resist fire and resist lightning, just so I get that extra 1 on there, because it's every 2, not every 1. So if you have an odd number, you're not getting that extra bonus. So no reason to grab the odd numbers if you don't have to. Should we throw this in? I'll throw some more into strength for right now. There's a specific piece of equipment that I'm looking to wear, and it has a very high strength requirement. The Chieftain Battle Axe. I know we have a better necklace in here too. Since we're in Nightmare, we might as well use some actual equipment that will protect us. What do we need more? Fire or lightning? Oh, hold on. I guess we're kind of even on everything at the moment. No room though, I tell you what. Too bad I don't have a diamond. I was really hoping on slapping a diamond into this shield. But I have yet to find enough diamonds to make even like a flawless diamond. I think I have like 2 normal diamonds on my necromancer. That's about it. Alright, so I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get rid of some of these charms. It's unfortunate, but they're just in the way. And that's kind of like the entire argument that a lot of people have for not going with a charm stash or a charm inventory. Is that basically a charm inventory is nothing more than like a way of cheating around the inventory management system. Like the whole game is this like struggle of trying to make sure that your inventory is empty. And the charms are just a straight negative to your inventory space for a bonus of stats. And so the more you hold on to charms, the less space you have. And I believe that it was deliberate. I believe that the entire point of charms was to deliberately limit your inventory space as a sacrificial maneuver. So in other words, you are giving up inventory space for stats. And I feel like the people that want a charm inventory are basically saying we want the stats without having to give up our inventory space, and I feel like it's directly in opposition to how the charms were designed. Now, if the charms were not designed to hog up your inventory space, maybe, but I feel like they were. Gotta make sure I pick up all them rings now. So the cool thing about being a Boadin is that at any time you can switch to a less weak setup. So you switch to your sword board, and obviously you can go with Zeal, or you could go with Vengeance. What I'm doing right now is I'm cross-training into Vengeance because Vengeance is it has similar synergies. So at the very least, I'm hitting a very interesting cross synergy thing going on here, where I can actually sort of have two skills at the same time, which I feel is actually very nice. Now, granted, a true Vengeance Paladin would go Conviction, but that's not where I'm going. I heard you screaming Rakanishu. Rakanishu! Dang it. Actually, I clicked off the screen, sorry. Why you outdoing me? Always trying to outdo me. I need to get a different merc. I never meant to get a prayer merc. I don't even know why I picked him. I think I was trying to pick the Blessed Aim one because I knew I was going to have attack rating issues. And I chose the wrong one entirely. And then, you know, after a little while, because your merc is almost with you, you kind of really can't get another one because the ones that you get after that are like super weak, and they get their butt handed to them in like 2 seconds. A Shamshir? Who doesn't want a Shamshir? Good old Shamshir. Right, let's go check down here. Talento. So I had a couple ideas. So one idea that I was thinking of is instead of going with Vengeance, I could go with a second aura. So I could do, for instance, Holy Fire and Holy Freeze. Or I could do Holy Shock and Holy Freeze. I don't see any reason why I couldn't max a second aura. And in the process, I would have 2 elements to draw on. So if ever I come across a cold immune monster, I could switch to Holy Shock. And vice versa. If I come across a lightning immune monster, I'd switch to Holy Freeze. Now, granted, there probably are a couple monsters out there who might be immune to both. But, I was actually thinking that perhaps Holy Fire might be a better one. And the reason why I was thinking Holy Fire is because I remember something about any fire damage that you have can be added into fire spells. So, like, say for instance you're a Amazon and you have your fire arrow, right? Well, there are, say you had a fire damage charm which gave you like 50 extra fire. When you fire your fire arrow, or your explosive arrow, sorry, the fire damage will actually go into the explosion, so it will add to the explosion of the arrow, which can be very, very useful. Unless I can find one that has Holy, because the Amazon also has a freezing arrow. So Holy Shock might work with the freezing arrow. It's hard to say. And this was not the direction I wanted to go. crap, that was a lot. That was a lot, all really fast. Wahid.
The sisterhood welcomes you.
Oh lord, all my gold was on me. Okay. That's okay, I still do damage. I can punch you to death. If I could hit them, I can't hit them. I'll beat you with a staff. That was so many lightning bolts. Like, so many lightning bolts. You know what, let me get, resist lightning up. Just so that, that doesn't happen again. Hopefully. Possibly.
I am overburdened.
I'm overburdened. My resistances are nowhere near where they should be. And even with resist lightning, I'm sitting at 22. Because the negatives are so profuse in the nightmare and hell difficulties that literally you will have almost nothing. Even when you have something. That makes sense. Alright, let me go grab Wahid and sell some of this junk so I'm not so full. Come here, Charcy.
Yes?
Take it easy. Take it easy. And, you don't do that. We found a regular diamond. Not a flawless diamond. We found a regular diamond. Wahid! Alright, so what's our lightning resist? 10. Whew. No wonder they killed me dead. Probably have to switch. Yeah, probably have to switch to my sword and board for this. Just so I actually have some lightning resist. Ah, he's multiple shot. That's why. My god. Punks. Topaz. Spectral. Really combat with spectral hit. They ain't got the resistances for that yet. And this is why nightmare difficulty becomes much more difficult challenge. It's because your gear has to be that much better, just in everything. Because you can't sacrifice your damage for your resistances, because then you won't be able to kill anything. And you can't sacrifice your resistances for your damage, because then you'll die over and over again, repeatedly. So you find yourself in an interesting dilemma where you don't necessarily need better gear per se, but you need gear that will actually fulfill the goals of nightmare difficulty, which is more resistances and more damage, both. Now, if I were to go back to normal difficulty, you will find that my resistances are pretty much all capped. But 75 is not enough. The Den of Evil. ring? Ring! A ring of mana. Lord, this is one of the biggest underground passages. Flanged mace. I mean, we're starting to get nightmare level items now, which is good. Some of the nightmare level uniques are much better than the low level stuff. Now, granted, the low level stuff can still be useful, so don't pull it, count it out completely yet. A lot of the times, the weapons are not so useful simply because they don't have a lot of damage to them, but damage isn't everything. Sometimes a weapon a normal weapon might be the best one that you can use at the moment, just simply because of the stats or the plus the skills or whatever happens to be on that particular item. Some of the set bonuses are very good too. Like for instance, if you happen to find a couple of pieces of the angelic set, you can get +1 to all skills, which is very handy to have on a lot of characters. I mean, it's pretty much very handy to have on all characters, but some characters more so than others. Let's just say. Everyone come in here to kill you, Shaman? Because I will. Dang, Wahid. Whoa with that. Who was that guy over there that was doing so much damage? He killed Wahid, and then he killed me right after, too. He won't play no games. Back off. See my -26, -14, -30, -25, and that's only because I have some resistances on charms. Without the charms, I would be at basically -30 on all resistances. And that's as bad as it sounds, because when you're negative resistances, you are actually taking more damage as a result. So it's not just like, having 25% resist means you're taking 25% less damage. But if you have -30%, that means you're taking 30% more damage than you would normally. I need to start putting down some town portals. I keep forgetting. Put one down right here, just in case I die, trying to retrieve my corpse. Now granted, if I was in hardcore mode, I'd be dead. It's the bow guy in the back that I have to watch out for, not any of these other people. I don't know who that bow guy is, but he does a lot of damage. Alright, let's go grab Wahid as a distraction real quick, and
Good
see
evening.
if we can kill him. Make sure we pop the portal. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it's a unique monster, but the cool thing about these guys is when one of them dies, they all run away. So generally, even if you're surrounded like that, you just need to kill one, And if you can kill one, that's usually all you need to do to save yourself from that situation. Let's see if we can find the scroll of emphasis. Oh, Darkwood Waypoint, nice. Here it is. Come on, big boy. Oh, there's lightning and shit. That's great. Fast. Otherwise, he was going to kill us. Oh, war spear. Was that ethereal? No, it's not. I want to take a look at that real quick. 3-socketed war spear. So, I don't know. It's not that good. Sell some of this junk.
Good to see you.
See if we can transmute anything.
Yes.
We can. Gotta remove all this crap from my inventory. Crap, wonderful crap. 2 more flawless. Nice. Could also make another one of this. So we got several ith runes, which we really don't need that many of. Transmute that into a towel. We got 3 ith runes too, I think. Stackable runes and stackable gems. Now that would be something. I wouldn't turn that down. You know why? Because I don't really think that breaks anything. Because the main problem with gems is you don't keep gems on you. Right? You don't keep a stack of gems sitting in your inventory. You put them in your stash, so they're mainly just hogging up your stash. That's part of the issue. Speaking of hogging up my stash, I think I'm gonna get rid of some of this stuff. I don't need these gems. Or these jewels. They're just not really that great. Plus, I don't really have anything to put them in. Alright. We get a little bit better. Inventory's a little bit less clogged. We got our magic find gear in case we need it.
Greetings.
We got our scroll of Infus. Did we get our scroll? No, we didn't get our scroll of Infus. Okay, hold on. Freaking walked away from it without clicking it, didn't we? Sweet. I believe we were 1 point away from grabbing Holy Shield. Yep. So let's go ahead and smack that on. Look at that. Now we got some Holy Shield. How long does our holy shield last for? Lasts for 105 seconds.
This tree bristles with magic.
Some more points in health this time. We still have our respec, so we'll be alright. Identify this Akara.
Very greetings.
Rockadishu. Oh, and if you didn't know this, holding down Alt shows you the items on the ground. Let's go.
What a tragic end.
Tristan ain't got nothing on me. Somebody got blessed aim. Got your back, Weed. This guy, though. You stop with that. He's got a cold enchantment. It's making it very difficult. +1 to bone prison, +2 to confuse. I can separate those two. Superior battle axe. Demon, lightning enchanted, and cold enchanted.
Yes?
Come on, Wahid, we got work to do. We got work to do.
Hello.
30K for that. Nice. I'll take it. Alright, come on, Wahid. I'm gonna cover your back while you kill him. Alright, there you go. You got the best resist lightning I can offer. I can't really do no damage anymore, so I can only get in there and kill some stuff. Kill this guy. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's right. Get in here, do your work.
Help!
My gold piles! Crown shield. Crown shield is the nightmare version, I think. Because mine is a... Oh no, never mind.
Deckard Cain.
Leave here immediately. Can we share portals, Kane? Kane, can we share... Fine, Kane, I didn't want to share portals anyway. Fine.
As a token of my gratitude, regrettably, I could do nothing.
As a token of your
Hello.
gratitude, you could have let me share your portal. Did you ever think about that, Kane? Did you ever think about that? He didn't. He never thought about that. Because he's a rude. A rudely rude. Such a rudely rude. Just go ahead and hit F1, F2. Holy crap, shale rune? Just get that off a random monster in Nightmare? No. An amethyst? Plus 1 to concentration, plus 1 to vengeance, plus 1 to blessed aim. It's gonna be worse than my name, clearly. Definitely worth a penny or two. I know I've said it before in a couple other videos, but you know, I never know, how many of you videos that you guys have seen of mine. Any class
what can I do
item
for you?
that is has plus the skills on it and random chances can be worth a large amount of money. Like this one right here is a damaged Grand Scepter. That's a normal Grand Scepter, and it has plus the skills, so it's worth about 10k. So it's a good item to bring back and sell. Got a dang shale rune now. Look at that. Freaking shale. I know y'all jealous. I didn't even have any magic find for that. I literally took off all my magic finds, still found a shale rune. Dire Razor the Dead. Be more dead. Bane light. Taking forever to get into position. Die. Oh, hello, demon head. Holy crap, +3 to poison nova? +2 to irons. +1 to iron golem, +2 to iron spear. That is a solid, like just straight up solid 30k right there. I can almost guarantee you.
I can't carry anymore.
Let's go to town and check.
Stay a while and listen.
Akara, I got you a demon
You have risked
head.
your
Yeah,
good
you
day.
just dropped that on the ground. Yep, 30k. What'd you give me? Some junk. +19 cold, +9 poison, maximum damage +1. It's awful, Akara. Alright, take this back, please. Just don't insult me like that. That's awful. Why don't you do that? Let's go gamble for a ring or something.
Greetings.
No dagger? $117 to attack rating. Mine has 80 to attack rating. 5 to strength. This has 5 to mana. I mean, the alternate stats on the rings are awful. Don't get me wrong. There's a whole lot of awful going on with these rings. I mean, I lose 9% better magic fine. Just hold on to it. Gives me more attack rating, which I need to hit things. And hitting things is good. Who doesn't like to hit things? When you're holding a hammer, everything becomes a nail. Don't get surrounded over there. Oh, he's got Holy Freeze Aura too. Okay. You know what? I don't like it. Wahid, get out of there. You get stuck in the middle of them like that. You know what? Why are we fighting you? Why? Why don't we just do this? Of course, he's got dang Holy Freeze Aura. He's probably resistant to cold. Actually, you know what? He might not be resistant to cold. I'm not resistant to cold. He does have Spectral Hit, though. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Mine are 24% better chance. This has 26% lightning, which is nice. Meh. Oh no, I run out of arrows. Oh no, Wahid. I see you up there, Carver Shaman. That was your last resurrect. Okay, there's another one of you somewhere. Let's go ahead. Real quick. Wahid!
Hello.
I gave you potions, Wahid. I don't know how you died. Yeah, I know how he died. It's actually really simple. So, the only way he stays alive is his lifesteal. So, when he was frozen by the Holy Freeze aura, which can freeze you a very large percentage, he was basically incapable of hitting and restoring his health. So he was stuck. And the slower he got, because you can stack cold slows. So for instance, the Holy Freeze slow is not the same as a cold damage slow. So if you have a cold damage on your weapon or whatever, it actually stacks. And there are other forms of slow as well, like Decrepify, and various skills have slowing effects on them. And believe it or not, you can actually stack multiple, like 4 or 5 different versions. Like if somebody was holy freezed, decrepified, that would already be so slow you probably wouldn't even be able to move. And then add cold damage in on top of that. There's also a freezing effect. So a freezing effect is one that freezes you completely, so you can't move at all, and that can be stacked too on top of everything else. So like a cold sorceress, if she's firing Glacial Spike has a freeze for a certain period of time. It's like 4 seconds, I think, and it can go up from there all the way up to like 8, I think is like the maximum. Oh, Zeal is so much nicer than Vengeance. Vengeance does so much more damage. So much more damage. Oh yeah, we could go kill the Countess. Where's the Countess at? She's in the Black Marsh. In the tower in the Black Marsh beyond the Dark Wood. We can go kill her. That sounds like something fun to do. Let's see what runes we get. Tear rune. Woo. Two-socketed crown. Just looking for potential magic find helmets. You know, I won't always be using flawless, double flawless. I'm hoping to get a double perfect at some point. Or, if I'm really lucky, a Tarn helm. And I will then sock it and put a perfect in. For more magic find, of course. chests and rocks and loose boulders and wells, and I just love how they just like put stuff all over the place. You're like, oh, there's some dead rogues. See, another thing to me that makes the charm inventory very silly is, let's just say, for instance, they did have a charm inventory. So you have an inventory that's completely dedicated to charms, has no other purpose, right? You'd be able to keep every single crappy charm that you would ever find, to the point of ridiculousness. So you would literally get to the point where you would have
cleansed of evil.
an entire charm inventory full of smalls, larges, and grands of all different shapes and sizes. You know, just ridiculous things like +1 poison resist, like +7 to 8 lightning. Just really stupid things like that. And your charm inventory would become so chock full. You'd have to go through your charm inventory to pick out the bad ones, just so you could pick up another charm. I mean, is that basically what we're saying? Is we want to basically make it so that people can have an entire inventory of charms? Like, look at this one. Resist fire 25%. That's a very nice charm. I mean, that's not like one that I would keep permanently or anything. But if I had an entire inventory full of plus resist charms, I certainly wouldn't be having any trouble in Nightmare difficulty. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? Like, the charms make the game easier. The better the charms and the more charms you have, the easier the game becomes until eventually it becomes super easy. Graves. Emerald. And then take small charms, for instance. You can find some pretty good small charms. Now, granted, they have their statistics limited because they're smalls, but you could fit, obviously, 3 times as many as a grand charm. And imagine if you just collected all elemental damage charms that you possibly could. Fire, lightning, cold, and poison. All 3. And you just stacked your inventory full. It wouldn't matter what build you had. You'd be able to just go straight through hell and kill just about anything with the amount of damage that you could accumulate from an entire inventory full of elemental damage charms. Or say you were a fire bow Amazon and you wanted to stack fire damage, because you can actually stack fire damage to your explosive arrow. So you would just get all the fire damage plus charms that you possibly could to stack fire damage on your explosive arrow. Beef up your explosive arrow to max, obviously. And you could be potentially just simply one-shotting things that aren't fire immune. Making pretty good progress here. But I'm making a choice right now. I'm choosing to hold on to a 25% fire resist grand charm because I need fire resist right now. But it's clogging up inventory space ridiculously.
Thanks.
Quit beating up Wahid. Alright? That's rude. You're rude. What's up, Woogalugs? You seeing the heck of NiNis? he's awake. Oh, dude. Uh-oh. Don't let Floozy eat him now. Floozy said, what is that thing? It smells weird. It smells like a rodent. Careful. Floozy gets agitated when things are around her. She nipped at Chimmy earlier, too, because Chimmy got too close. NiNi said, don't put me near that big thing. I'll skirt. Thing's huge. This is a little heckin' NiNi. Let me show you little NiNi. So this is Mr. NiNi, or Nimoy for short. His NiNi is his short name. What's up, little heckin' NiNi? I do have some videos of NiNi on here taking a sand bath and getting scrooches. He gets his little scrooches. He locks his little scrooches. And then does a little tail thing. He goes like this. He goes. You saw some of your little tail thing? Yes. It's a little heckin' NiNi. Don't be jealous. Y'all can have a NiNi too if you go to a pet shop and you get yourself a Chinchilla. A heckin' NiNi. Wow, 3-socketed volcano carrion vine helmet. How come some helmets can have 3 sockets? I want a 3-socketed magic cat helmet. I wonder if I'm trying to think of whether or not hell
Can't carry anymore.
Interesting. I haven't got one of those in a little while. Actually, I haven't got one of those yet. I haven't even gotten to the
I am overburdened.
to the queen bee yet. I could drop off some of my stuff in town. Obviously, this hell rune deserves to go in here somewhere. And I'm gonna sell this falcon helmet.
When I fled the monster.
Yes, when you fled the monster, you left your ballast behind.
I can't.
I got to rip one of that. I really just don't. Clink, clink, clink. Look at all them big piles of gold. Alright. Let's go ahead and make a portal. And let's put on our magic vine gear. Well, bang. Get killed, then. Yo, with all that. That's a whole lot. She had to freaking pop out while I was literally in my inventory playing with my gear.
The sisterhood welcomes.
She's obviously lightning enchanted, so let me hit my lightning enchanted buff here. Grab my body. You're heckin' rude. That's all I got to say about you, ma'am. I was literally trying to swap my gear. And you decided you were going to make a big old deal out of it. Let's just back off. A good thing to note is that whenever you come across a, for instance, a lightning enchanted boss, all the minions also carry the enchantment. Now they do not carry the, like for instance, lightning enchanted, when you hit the target, the little shocks come out, but also part of lightning enchanted is a lightning damage added to your attacks. So if you come across a lightning enchanted monster, all of the minions also have, holy crap, all resistance is +6. Sorry. All of the minions also have that lightning damage added to their attacks. Okay, so you have to watch out for that. Alright, well, we don't really have much room, but we shall figure it out, I guess. Well, we have max fire resistance and max poison resistance. I don't know why. Did I finish swapping my gear? Swap some of it. Hold on. There we go. And where's that ring at? Alright, that's not bad. Go ahead and make a portal. Go in here and see if we can take on the chaos. I have no idea what. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna pour out like that. That's not what I expected. Okay, you having fun there? Is that fire gonna go away or no? Fire enchanted. Okay, good. We're 80. Yeah, 80. Oh, shale and an ort. Not bad.
I've earned the right to this abandoned trove.
All my gold sticks. See, look at all these gold stacks. This is in the Countess room. I must have picked up one. You know, I saw somebody earlier on YouTube, and they were being so freaking dramatic. They're like, you gotta pick up every gold stack. And they're like, click, 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 click. Nobody does that. You just like spam your click button. Like, who goes click and like click, click? Nobody. You dramatic bastards. You come over here and you just click like this, and you just click and you 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 click, 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 click. You ain't gotta do nothing else. You just click, right? In fact, you click at the feet of your character mainly, because that way your character doesn't have to run to pick anything up. Countess, thank you for all the gold. And then when you get down to like 1 or 2 stacks, maybe you do that quickly. Ooh, a socketed scepter.
I can't carry anymore.
Socketed scepter. Salvation and vigor.
I can't.
You can't. Inventory Tetris. Just a 3-socketed with no actual effects. You can go suck it. Alright, y'all. It's been a fun little Diablo run. We got to level 37.
Those rich
Managed to
greetings.
clear out some of this. Dang, 30,000 for that. That's nice. Can't believe we got another shale rune. We could definitely figure out some sort of rune word at this point. Might be some pretty good ones we can make. We'll have to take a look at that next time we come by. We have Ral, we have Dole, we have El, we have Ort, we have Eth, Eld, Nef, Sol, Hell, Shale, Am, Dole, Eth. Okay, so we got a decent number of runes. We just need to find something to put them in, right? Alright, well, until next time, y'all, it's been a lot of fun, and as always, tune in, because as soon as we get some Diablo II Resurrected footage, we're going to be playing that too. And I'm super excited because, well, I just can't wait. I'm coming up with all these builds in my mind. I want to make a Tankazon again. Basically, a Tankazon focuses on her Valkyrie and her own personal passives, and then you have to find a way to dish out the damage. So your general goal is to make yourself unkillable, and then once you've made yourself unkillable, then you figure out how to do damage to targets, and it becomes a little bit difficult. I personally usually go with one of the spear skills, just so I have an attack, like fend or something like that. In fact, you know what? Let's real quick before I sign off, let's just create a character. We'll make an Amazon, and we'll call her Tankazon. Alright, and we go to the tree here, and I'll show you what I mean. So in the Javelin and Spear skills, there's a very easy skill here to get. It's called Jab. And I feel like Jab, 1 point into Jab, is enough to give you a workable attack skill for your Tankazon. And what you do is, instead of running a sword or a shield, a sword or a two-handed weapon or something like that, you get yourself basically the best possible javelin that you can, and you run sword and board. But instead of sword and board, it's javelin and board. And you can actually theoretically max out jab if you want to. It does increase your damage and your attack percentage, so it's moderately useful. But a lot of these skills like Impale and Fend and Jab are meant to be used with a two-handed spear, which is not how you would play a Tankazon, because you would be beefing up your dodges, your avoidance, your evade, your critical strike, your penetrate, and then once you've gotten these to an acceptable level, you would also go into your Valkyrie, just so that you have another like target to be attacked. Because if you think about it, if you have 10 monsters and they're all attacking you, then that's 10 monsters doing damage to you. But if you have a Valkyrie that can take damage too, and 5 of them are attacking you and 5 are attacking the Valkyrie, then you're splitting the damage in half, so that's a 50% damage reduction right off the top. So if you can have a Valkyrie that is capable of hanging it in there, then why not do it? And the Valkyrie gets synergy bonuses from every single one of your Tankazon skills. So, you know, as you increase your evade, avoid, dodge, your Valkyrie is going to become stronger as well. Your critical strike, penetrate, those are also going to help her. And then decoy also gives her life, 20% life per level. So as a Tankazon, how you would build essentially is either completely ignore javelin skills, but I usually do recommend putting at least 1 point in jab, just so you have a quick attack. It's very fast. It's basically a three attack, like quick attack. So it's like ooh 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 ooh. My sound effects are amazing, I know. And a couple points in it gets you some attack percentage and gets the damage to an actual bonus. Or you can go with a sword, or basically anything else in the game. If you don't want to go with jab, then you're just going to have to regular attack, which is up to you. But the general goal is to make her as tanky as possible, with critical strike, which gives you that double damage, and penetrate, which gives you the extra attack rating so you can actually hit targets. You combine all this together and you get an amazingly survivable Amazon. Now granted, you're still going to have to build up resistances yourself, and you're going to have to find some way to dish out the damage, which is understandably difficult. But you can build elemental charms, you can get items that specifically do elemental damage. You can go with almost like a pure melee damage build if you want to. It's hard to get it to work in Hell, just simply because of there's so many resistances, and physical damage is so resistant in general. But it's I think it's a fun character just simply because of how tanky and almost indestructible you become as you increase your avoidances to an amazing level. And you get a nice shield with good block percentage, faster recovery, faster block, more block chance, etc. You want to make sure that you're, just a tank, basically. Thus the entire term, Tankazon. Let's see here. What other fun characters could we make? Sorceress. The Druid. The Paladin. The Barbarian. The Necromant. And the Assassin. There's so many fun builds. I think the Amazon might very well be the next one that I play around with. Just simply because the Amazon can be so versatile. I mean, you can make a Javazon using Lightning Fury. You can make a Spearazon using Fend and Impale. You can make a Boazon using Immolation Arrow or Freezing Arrow or Strafe. You can also go with Multi-Shot. There's actually a fairly decent Guided Arrow build. It's all very, very fun. Very, very fun. In fact, Javazon was one of my favorites to play, especially in cow level. Javazon works very, very well in the cow level. Well, until next time, we will definitely play some more Diablo 2. I appreciate you guys guys and gals for tuning in. I know that for some of you who maybe have never played Diablo 2, you might have no idea what I'm talking about, but I appreciate you tuning in just the same. Diablo 2 Resurrected is coming out this year, although we don't know the exact date, and it's going to be a very